my name is Callista Falcone, and our group decided to research the Walt Disney Company. Before diving into the elements of PACE, our group wanted to explain the history of Walt Disney. Walt Disney came to California in the summer of 1923. He made his first cartoon in Kansas City about a girl in a cartoon world, and this later became known as Alice in Wonderland. He decided to expand to different types of cartoons, so he made a new series about Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and one of his distributors went behind his back and licensed all of Oswald, so Walt no longer owned the rights. So he moved to Hollywood and built a new studio in 1926, and this is where he made Mickey Mouse. Then Disneyland opened July 17, 1955, and then he decided to expand globally, so they made a Disneyland in Tokyo in April 15, 1983, and then in May 2006, Disney bought Pixar.
The first letter of PACE is professionalism, and we see professionalism as a company's growth and success in the professional landscape. So for Disney, we see steady growth in the past, and then analysts predict pretty steady growth in the future, specifically by 7.27% annually in their earnings in the next 5 years. But in the past, we see their growth mainly coming through acquisitions and buying different media-based companies and then developing them separately. So specifically through Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars specifically, their stock prices rose substantially, such as the Avengers, Thor, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Those hit movies led to an increased stock value the years after, from $26 to $100, so it nearly quadrupled. Another section of Disney would be their tourist business, and we've seen continual growth in attendance. So for example, in 2006, they were at 7 million people attending, and then it increased to 77 million in 2014. And then they're actually, even though they are a large company, they're still developing and growing even more. So to compete with companies such as YouTube and Netflix, they have created a streaming service called Disney Life, and it's tested in the UK, but will eventually grow to other European nations and then further into the world beyond that.
Next in PACE is A, which stands for academics. Disney really values its education. They also support education-based nonprofits and career development. Since they support career development, it proves as a double win, because if they're supporting their employees, then they're also building their company. They also have education reimbursement, which is available for full-time employees. So if you go to college, and depending on where you go, they'll give you a reimbursement of your tuition. They also have a wide range of jobs, which means that there's a wide range of requirements. Just so if you're a chef, you need 2 years of experience, but if you're just working as someone who dresses up as a princess, then you don't need as much experience. They are also partnered with Broward College, and Broward College has a 5 to 7 month training program, and employees can go there and they actually get real world experiences. So they go to this college, they're still in college classes, but they go out, have real life experiences in the parks, and they also get paid for these.
So the next letter in PACE is C, which stands for character, and in our opinion that just means what the total culture of the company is and the kind of vibe that they want to give out in terms of what their brand is. So Disney's always strived to have a very magical brand. It's a company that motivates their employees to build towards this brand. They want people to have a magical experience when they go to their parks or when they're watching their movies. In addition to having a magical brand, they also have a very open working dynamic. So the company encourages its employees to provide input on all the things that they do. It has a very optimistic and happy internal vibe, so the employees are always just bouncing ideas off of each other. No one feels like they're being graded too harshly. And it just makes Disney an attractive place for top candidates to go if they know they're going to go to a nice working environment. And also recently Disney has really made an effort to promote equality. In the past, in its early history, it had some somewhat offensive material that they're really trying to get over, and so recently they worked to rectify the issues. They have a lead female character in their newest Star Wars movie, and they had the first black princess in one of their movies a few years ago. So they're just working really to promote diversity and just equality in their brand and products.
Last but not least is the E in PACE, which stands for engagement. And this means basically how Disney interacts with the community around it and the world as a whole. So Disney prides itself on giving back to the community. And this past year, they donated $400 million to nonprofits, which is an astounding number. In the past 5 years, they've donated 23.1 million books to schools to help early childhood education. They have recently established a volunteers program, which pushes Disney employees to do service. And this has resulted in a 2.9 million hours of service in the past 5 years, and they want this number to continue to rise. So by 2020, they're hoping to reach 10 million hours of service throughout their company. And Disney's engagement is on an upward trend. Since 1983, their donations and the amount of service hours that their employees are doing have significantly increased each year since 1983. So Disney certainly does a lot for the community and for the world. So they're a great role model for other companies to look up to when it comes to engagement.